Thank you, everybody who's here to listen. And I'm this is a workshop. I'm going to try to get in some traditional ballads here for you. And what I've done is I've posted a link on chat that has the words to the ballads I'm going to sing. I thought they're not really sing-alongs, but it'd be like having the words on the back of an album cover, if you can remember what an album cover was. But you could go to that link and get those words yourself and follow them along. Or I hope my diction is going to be good enough to carry them off for you. They should, because they're story songs. All of these ballads have child numbers. They're sometimes called child ballads. It's too bad Francis Child didn't have a different last name that wasn't a common noun, because some people think these are children's songs or songs for children, and they have nothing to do with that. Child was an educator at Harvard and in the 19th century, and going through the literature collection, he noted that there were different versions of traditional ballads in those collections. And he thought, somebody ought to put that into an index. And there you go, it was him. And so he put together a 4-volume index of these variants of the child ballads. And over the years, people who collected other versions used those reference numbers. I don't think I've gotten a single one of these out of the collection of the English and Scottish ballads. That's what they're called. So I'm going to start here with one that's pretty popular. I don't know the child numbers offhand, but it's called Lord Bateman or Lord Beacon, and it could date back 800 years. How do you know? You can go to the first publication of these songs, the earliest publication found, but since many of these are traditional, they could very well be. So this one's a good 6 minutes long. It's a good story. Sit back and see if you can follow along. Lord Bateman was a noble lord. He thought himself of high degree, but he would not rest or be contented until he sailed the old salt sea. He sailed to the east, he sailed to the westward, he sailed all over to Turkey's shore, and there the Turk threw him into prison. No hope of getting free anymore. Now the Turk he had an only daughter, the fairest one I ever did see. She stole the key to her father's prison. There she set Lord Bateman free. She led him down to her father's cellar and gave him a drink of the finest wine. Each moment seemed to be an hour. Oh, Lord Bateman, if you were mine, it's 7 long years. Let's make this bargain. It's 7 long years. Give me your hand, that you shall wed no other woman, and I will marry no other man. She led him down to her father's harbor and gave him a ship so fine. Farewell to you, farewell, Lord Bateman, farewell until we meet again. When 7 long years had gone and passed over, it seemed to her like 99. She bundled up her fine gold clothing, declared Lord Bacon she'd go fine. She sailed to the east, she sailed to the westward, she sailed all over to England's shore. And when she came to Lord Bateman's castle, straightway she knocked upon the door. Oh, would this be Lord Bateman's castle? Would his lordship be within? Oh yes, cried the proud young porter. He's just now taken his new bride in. Tell him to send me a slice of cake and a drink of the finest wine, and not to forget the fair young maiden who did release him on close confine. What news, my proud young porter? What news do you bring to me? Oh, there's a lady who's here to see you, the fairest one I ever did see. She's got gold rings on all of her fingers, and on her middle finger 3. And there's enough gold around her middle to buy Northumberland from thee. Lord Bateman rose from where he was sitting. His face it looked as white as snow. Oh, if this be the Turkish lady, I'm bound with her all for to go. Then up and spoke the young bride's mother. She'd never been known to speak so free, which is probably the best rendition of a mother-in-law in traditional song. Then what's to become of my young daughter, who's just been made a bride to thee? Lord Bateman spoke to the young bride's mother. She's none the better or the worse by me. She came here on a horse and saddle. She shall ride home with a coach from thee. Another wedding we may wed, another wedding there will be, for I must marry the Turkish lady who crossed the rolling seas for me. So I love that ballad. It's got a great ending. It's a wonderful story, and I learned that from a group of singers that my late wife and I used to sing with occasionally, sometimes called the Golden Ring. George and Jerry Armstrong were from Wilmette, Illinois, and longtime folk singers, and our friend Ed Trickett. It was a great song to just sing along on, and if you're going to practice your banjo or your strumming, you just get in a groove and sing right along. Okay, I'm going to do another song here, another traditional one. This is called The House Carpenter. It's also called The Demon Lover, I think, in the Child Collection, but a lot of people in America call it The House Carpenter. This is not so great of an ending of a song. The Demon Lover, in this particular version, which is from the Ozarks, it doesn't actually mention the demon. He's just a sailor, but you get the idea from the scenery they're flowing through. Okay, just called The House Carpenter. I learned this from a recording of a woman in the Ozarks named Noble Cowden, who I think must have learned a guitar style from listening to Merle Travis or something. There are other ways, I suppose, in the Ozarks she could have learned a finger-picking style. I'm sort of doing it. I'm not trying to imitate her exactly. Okay, The House Carpenter. Well met, well met, well met, said he. Well met, said she. For I have come to these hilly lands. It's all for the sake of thee. to these hilly lands, and it's all for the sake of thee. Well, you have made a house carpenter, and a fine-looking gentleman is he. But if you will leave your house carpenter and run away with me, I'll take you to the place where the grass grows tall, by the rivers of Sweet Willie. She picked it up, her darling little babe, and kisses gave it 3, saying, stay at home, you darling little babe, for to keep your pop company. For to stay at home, you darling little babe, for to keep your pop company. They had not been on the sea 2 weeks, I'm sure it was not 3, when this young lady was found weeping. She was weeping most bitterly. When this young lady was found weeping, she was weeping most bitterly. Oh, is it for my gold you weave, or is it for my store, or is it for your house carpenter that you never will see anymore? Or is it for your house carpenter that you never will see anymore? No, it's not for your gold I weave, or it is for your store, but it is for my darling little babe that I never will see anymore. Oh, it is for my darling little babe that I never will see anymore. What is those banks I see that look as white as snow? It is the banks of heaven, I know, where your darling little baby will go. It is the banks of heaven, I know, where your darling little baby will go. And what is those banks I see that look so dark and low? It is the banks of hell, I know, where you and I must go. It is the banks of hell, I know, where you and I must go. They had not been on the sea 3 weeks, I'm sure it was not 4, and on the deck there sprung a leak, and their voices wasn't heard anymore, till from their decks there sprung a leak, and the voices wasn't heard anymore. Oh, cursed be those sea-sailing men, oh, cursed be their lies, for robbing of little house carpenters and stealing away their wives, for robbing of little house carpenters and stealing away their wives. It's a lesson. It's a lesson of being careful about who you're dating and why, and don't be cheating on your husband. Anyway, so I think what's next on my list here? I'm going to do a couple of 3 different versions, I think 3, of a song called "The Hangman." In the child book, it's called "The Maid Freed from Gallows," but usually it's not a woman who appears in the song. And this song, according, you can you can check these words, but these songs are all easily found on the internet. You can find, they're just easily accessible versions of these songs. There are apparently so many versions of this song collected on the European continent. It leads many people to believe that they might have actually originated there somewhere. Who knows? But in the Ozarks, I would sing this one. Oh, Okay, I think here. So, again, or not again, but something I should have said. You know, ballads in popular music and in jazz, a ballad is a slow song, usually a love song. But in folk music and the academic term, a ballad is a song that tells a story, like a beginning, middle, and end kind of story. So the Hangman is a good example of ballads that this can get longer. Depends on how many family members you want to trot into the song. If you're trying to get your babies to sleep and well, you get somebody else in there and ask them the questions. But that can be that way. But it's a very repetitive structure. So it's easier to remember a song this way because, like I said, many of these verses repeat. So you might sing it this way, as I heard it in the Ozarks. Hangman, hangman, slack your rope, loose it for a while. I think I see my father coming, riding many a mile. Father, have you brought me hope, or have you paid my fee? Or have you come to see me hanged upon the gallows tree? I have not brought you hope, I have not paid your fee, but I have come to see you hang upon the gallows tree. Hangman, hangman, slack your rope, loose it for a while. I think I see my brother coming, riding many a mile. Brother, have you brought me hope? Have you paid my fee? Or have you come to see me hang upon the gallows tree? I have not brought you hope, I have not paid your fee, but I have come to see you hang upon the gallows tree. So this is the structure. Hangman, hangman, slack your rope, loose it for a while. I think I see the devil coming, riding many a mile. Well, devil, have you brought me hope? Or have you paid my fee? Or have you come to see me hang upon the gallows tree? I have not brought you hope, I have not paid your fee, but I have come to steal your soul upon the gallows tree. Hangman, hangman, hang your rope, loose it for a while. I think I see my true love coming, riding many a mile. True love, have you brought me hope? Have you paid my fee? Or have you come to see me hang upon the gallows tree? Yes, I have brought you hope, and I have paid your fee. So jump right down, get on my horse, you're going home with me. So that's a good version, a good traditional. Again, you could put other people in there. I'd like to do a version that I learned from my friends Sandy and Caroline Payton with a new instrument that I've just acquired. Let me there. Get a good look of the festival quilt banner here. Well, I've had this lovely correspondence with a man in Jamaica named Jeff Menzies, who makes these gourd banjos. And I've had a gourd banjo made by Clark Bueling. It's a long story. I don't have time, but it's I haven't really played a fretless banjo very often, and but I think this is really cool because it's tuned really low, and because it's fretless, it's like a banjo with license to be played out of tune. Oh, that's a bad thing to say. Okay, all right. I'll do this version of the song called Joshua, who is the name of the hangman, even though he's not called that. And this song actually mentions the woman right off. I mean, mentions the word she. And it does speak of the crime for which she was to be executed. So how are we doing here on 10 minutes? Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Hold up your hand, Joshua, she said. Wait a while and see, for I can see my dear old father crossing over the sea. Do you have any money for me? Gold that can set me free. I have stole the silvery cup and hang it I'm gonna be. I don't have any money for you, gold that can set you free, for I have come to see you hang yonder gallows tree. Hold up your hand, Joshua, she said. Wait a while and see, for I think I see my dear old brother crossing over the sea. Do you have any money for me? Gold that can set me free. I have stole that still free cup, hang it I'm gonna be. Any money for you, gold for to set you free, for I have come to see you hang under gallows tree. Hold up your hand, Joshua, she said. Wait a while and see. I think I see my dear, my own true love crossing over the sea. Do you have any money for me? Gold that can set me free. I have stole the silvery cup, hanging I'm gonna be. Oh yes, I have some money for you, gold that can set me free, for I have come to save your neck on yonder gallows tree. A nice minor version of that. Okay, I'm going to be running out of time if I'm not careful. Ooh, 7 minutes. Okay, well, Lead Belly recorded a cool version of this too. But I won't. You can find the Lead Belly version. That's what inspired the Led Zeppelin to record a version of this song, The Gallows Pole. 2 minutes? Oh, they're 25 minutes. Okay, I don't have 2 minutes. Won't take. Okay, I'll do the Lead Belly thing. How's that? Okay. Okay, thank you. I don't know if there are any questions. I didn't see anything, but I'd like to thank you all for tuning this in. These times seem to flip right by on us. Lead Belly recorded this, in the 30s, I think, or early 40s, maybe. I don't know. And his lyrics are kind of more scattered in a way. They don't hang together, but he was such a monster on the 12-string. I think let everybody just kind of let him go. But he doesn't even mention the hangman. He does have a long narrative, but it was and I don't really do his stuff. bring me silver? Father, did you bring me gold? What did you bring me, dear father? Keep it from the gallows pole. Yes, yes. What did you bring me? Keep it from the gallows pole. Mother, did you bring me silver? Mother, did you bring me gold? What did you bring me, dear mother? Keep it from the gallows pole. Yes. What did you bring me? Keep it from the gallows pole. Son, I brought you some silver. Son, I brought you some gold. Brought a little bit of everything to keep it from the gallows pole. Yes. I brought it. I brought it to keep it from the gallows pole. It goes on like that, and then of course with Led Zeppelin, then it was Hangman, Hangman, hold a little while. Think I see my friends come and ride many a month. Anyway, it goes on like that. So it's a great song that comes back to England by way of the black tradition in America as well. And apparently, a lot of black people in America knew this song. I would imagine the idea of being spared from being hung is a pretty salient story for a lot of black people in America at an earlier time. Lead Belly, there was another man at the prison where Lead Belly was that was a version of this song was collected. So I don't know if how are we doing on time? I think hi Scott, how are we doing?
You can answer a few questions, Dave, if you like. We have about
Are there?
2 minutes left, and then we'll bring in the line letters.
Great. Are there any questions? Oh, I guess you could answer. You just unmute people. Is that
We
it?
have this meeting set up with everyone muted, and so just go
Okay.
ahead and ask your questions in the comment area, please.
Okay. Well, you have to be typing. Do you have any questions, Scott? I don't.
There you go. Folks can go ahead and unmute themselves if you want. Thank you so much for this, Dave, by the way. Your playing's always wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you, Scott. I look forward to being able to share some tunes with you again and some nice grizzly songs with your lovely wife. I don't, you know, how does Dave remember all those words? Well, I've answered that question. You know, a lot of these songs are repetitive, and but one key for me personally over the years is if I want to learn a song, if I write the words down, I have that song a third memorized by the time I'm writing them out. And a lot of people ask you, what do you see when you're singing a song? And since I'm unfortunately often singing with my eyes closed, I guess people wonder. And sometimes I actually see the words printed on the page when I write them. But over a period of time, over a long period of time, some of the images are become images in my head. But anyway.
It's a good thing you're not singing while you're walking along the street.
Yeah, with my eyes closed. That's right. I
That's right.
often I can whistle while I walk, but I don't know. Yeah, best
Cartoons whistle while they walk, don't they?
could be. Thank you, Peter. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. It's also, you know, the guitar. If you're playing an instrument, so many of these ballads traditionally were sung, you know, unaccompanied to tell the story. But you know, as time goes on in the 20th century, people play instruments to accompany them, and but the song is actually there are plenty of great sources. If you went to the Max Hunter folk song collection on the internet, you can hear his sources. He collected a lot of ballads in the Ozarks. There are, of course, wonderful records all around, and hear quite a bit of them on the internet too. It's fun to explore ballads this way.
So, Dave, I think we're out of time. I've bring the Limelighters in from the green room here.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Are you
Thank
with
you
us,
very
so
much. Thanks, everyone, and
Thanks, Dave.
family and everyone. That was great.